Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wish's weekly webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today I'm really excited to bring you these adorable glass ornaments or baubles made from Lavinia stamps. My friend Debbie made these and she made some more that I can't wait to show you, so come play with us. So I'm going to show you the basic elements that it takes to put together these baubles, and we'll start off with the ornaments itself and how to construct those, and then we'll get into the stamping and all the fun things you can do with them. So the glass ball ornaments, like this, and they have a little top that opens on them. You can get all of this at Paper Wishes. Here we go. And we're shipping really fast, you guys, so you'll be able to get all this in plenty of time to do all of your holiday gift giving. So how this works is you start with the acetate, okay? And we like to use the heat-resistant acetate, which is this marvelous product. And what you're going to do is, well, actually I'm just going to show you the pattern. We're going to provide a pattern for you. You just print it out, okay? And then cut out the little pattern, and then you're going to take the heat-resistant acetate and place the pattern over that and cut that out. So you get this great little like circle with a little tab on it. And this tab is super important, and I'll show you why. So first thing that Debbie did was, let me find, oh yeah. Now if you're stamping on these, MISTI is very important, okay? And the first thing we're going to do is a little bit of embossing. And because of that, we don't want our embossing liquid, our embossing pad, which is this one right here, this Watermark by Spectrum translucent embossing pad. And what we're going to do is we're also going to use a heat gun, which I have right here. And if you're new to embossing, this product has been around for a long time, but boy, is it just tried and true. It's an oldie but a goodie, and it's a perfect crafting pouch. And if you haven't seen these before, it's just a little felt pouch, and it has this little this clay, anti-static clay stuff that's inside of it. It's a little powder. And we're gonna blot our little image here, our little acetate, with this stuff. And it just, as I said, if you're new to embossing, it makes the whole process a lot easier. So you're gonna take this, we're gonna put it in our MISTI. And this is the new generation of the MISTI. If you haven't seen it yet, it's brilliant because it has this little place to put your little magnet. Love that. And if you don't have a MISTI and you want to be a stamper, get one because they are great. Go. And then we're going to take this little star. This one is called Star Cluster from Lavinia Stamps. It's really, really a cute one. Go. We're just going to place that. There's a little opening here at the bottom. We're going to place that right here. Going to pull that back just a tiny bit, that magnet. This is a little extra magnet because the MISTI comes with one, but if you have another fridge magnet lying around, it's nice to have another one. And that's going to cling there. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Lift it right up. Guess I need to get that on there a little bit more. All right, then we're going to just blot this with our there we go, our stamp pad. All right, and then we're just gonna put some pressure on there. And remember, if we don't like it the first time when we stamp, we can just lift it up and do it again. Looks pretty good, but I'm gonna give it another shot there. Okay, there we go. So now, we're going to sprinkle a little bit of gold embossing powder on this. I'm going to show you one that's finished. This is what we're going to end up with right there. Hey Steve, can we like move in a little bit? There we go, thank you. Okay, so we're going to emboss this, sprinkle this over the top. Don't worry, I'm not going to do this right now because I'm going to do the next step so we can hurry on a little bit. And then once we heat it, it's going to look like this. Right? So now I'm going to actually emboss the next step so you can get a better idea. Okay. Side. And then we're going to use, did I put that? There we go. I have so much stuff on my table. And this is just the Darcy. Rory and Darcy are these little fairies, and they are adorable. Rory and Darcy. I don't know who is who or which is which. Go like this once again. We're gonna say that this is Darcy. Okay, so now we're going to put a little translucent ink on Darcy. We're going to stamp that image. Okay. There we go. I like how that looks. Okay, and now I'm going to ask Steve if he can help me plug in my heat gun because the plug is way across my table and I forgot to do that. Steve's like, what? I have something to do here. All right, so while Steve is taking care of that, I'm going to use a little bit of, I should have mentioned for the stars, this is the super fine gold embossing powder, and then this is super fine black. And I'm just going to put it right on there. There we go. We want to get rid of all that extra. And then we're just going to put it right back in there. Thank you, Steve. And we're just going to heat this another time. I noticed here I had a little bit sticking where I don't want it, so I'm going to just brush that away. And what that little powder pouch does is it helps that the embossing powder is not sticking and clinging, especially when you're using something that's like this heat-resistant acetate. It's not clinging where it shouldn't, and it just wipes away really easily. Okay. Oops, there's a little part there that I didn't get. Okay, there we go. Now, once this kind of settles for a minute, I'm just going to use I usually just wash this under the water and get rid of any of the extra powder, but we can also just wipe it away here with this nice little brush. You can also just put it under the sink, wipe all that away, but I'm just going to take a baby wipe here. And it gets rid of all that extra residue. All right. All right, so now it's a fun. You get to add it to the little bauble or glass ornament. So we're going to take that, we're going to take the top off. Make sure sometimes when you take these off quickly, it gets a little chip right here. Make sure that you're very careful. Now we're going to take, we're going to take this little guy and we're just going to roll it. We've got this little thing at the top, that's our little holder. We're going to roll this into kind of a circle, cylinder, that. And then we're going to take it and we're going to put it inside here. And then something impossible is going to happen. Fit, and then, whew, it spreads right out there. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so then I like to take this little paintbrush and move this aside. And then we're going to take some of these feathers. This. And Debbie said it's a good idea just take and cut away the thicker portions of the shaft and just use those for something else. And we're going to put these at the back. Why are we doing this? Because this is hard to see when you don't have something behind it. So it kind of also goes with the fairy theme. We're just going to put some feathers right back in there. And another reason to cut these down is because they are quite long. They're about 4 to 6 inches long, and you want to cut them down to about 2 inches. And we're just going to use 3 or 4 of these. Whoops, I started going in the front of bobble. Who thought that I would come to work today and be stuffing feathers into an ornament? I am the luckiest person that I get to do all these great fun things. So, taking these extra little bits. Okay. Go. Okay. There, that stuff. And you'll notice Debbie did this really clever thing. She put some little shaker material in there. I should mention too that you can also use the Starry Night embossing powder. It's very, very glittery. I used this sort of matte black embossing powder, but you can always use this one too, like Debbie did, to give you a really extra sparkle look to it. There we go. So these are crystal stars. Whoa. It's actually nice when you're working on this to just set your ornament on top of a glass or something that's a little bit smaller. Okay, and these we're just going to add to the front part. You see my tab? I'm working on the front of it. And I'm just dropping those down right in there. And so then when you're all done, you're going to take this little tab, you're going to cut that even at the top. One of my feathers is not operating. And then we're just going to put this little cap right back on again. But I'm going to put it behind where the feathers are. There. So, as you can see, then Debbie decorated it with some ribbon, made a little hanger. So cute. And let me show you this other one that she did. So this one, she used these adorable, the fairy foragers. And she used this little one right here, has a little lantern, and then a little Christmas tree. It's the fir tree from Lavinia. And then she added this cute little, from hot off the press, this is just a little Merry Christmas stamp. And then she embellished by using, and then I should mention, she stamped those with StazOn instead of embossing powder. So this one StazOn, being that it's a solvent ink that it can stamp on plastic and metal. And this one was olive green for the tree. For the little Merry Christmas, she used blazing red. For the little fairy, she used the jet black. And then she used these cute little galaxy of stars. She used the tiny ones to decorate her tree. She put one on the lantern. And then she just added these sparklets. These are little hearts. Excuse me, I need to take a drink. Here we go. She added these little hearts and sparklets in there in the front. And of course added feathers. This beautiful little ribbon set, the red ribbon set to decorate. Very cute. And then this one, how adorable is this? It's got a sea themed, because these are meant to not only just go on your Christmas tree, they can be used just to hang in a bathroom. You could put a piece of fishing line on this so that they were clear, and you could just put a cluster of them to the side of the sink area or in your kitchen window. Or if you have like an ocean themed Christmas tree. So on this one, she used, these are sea creature stamps, and she used this one right here, and I think this is a jellyfish. She also embossed that one using the Starry Night. And then she used this beautiful, this is the Mystic Swirl stamp, and she also used, again, the olive green stays on, as well as the teal, and stamped that around the outer edges, and then brought in these adorable shimmers, and this one is the Caribbean, and putting the feathers in the background. And then this adorable ribbon, I love this for the holidays. This is the Velvet Shimmer ribbon. She also used just a little bit of grosgrain ribbon from our grosgrain ribbon set. All right, so now what do you do if you want to do these if you're not a stamper? So I'm going to start with another one here, and I'm going to show you how to do one using some Dazzle stickers. Okay, same concept. So anything that's just either got a circular shape or would fit on this little circle is going to work. So I'm going to see here, this butterfly would look really cute on that, as well as this guy right here. I'm going to try this one. This is the stencil stickers. These were actually meant for stenciling onto flat glass ornaments, but we are going to purpose them in another way. So where did that go? Oh, here it is. These things really fly off on you and disappear. All right, so I'm going to use this one. All right, and if you're not familiar with Dazzles, these beautiful little metallic, or sometimes they're colored, outline stickers, and we just want to lay that. I'm going to put this on the black so it's easier to see. I'm going to lay that right down like that. All right, now you could take some little jewel dazzles and embellish that. You could use pens to color that. If you were going to use pens, I really recommend, here we go, the Tri-Blend markers by Spectrum Noir, because they're alcohol, and they would then, they act sort of like the StazOn. They're a permanent ink. They're also great because they're blendable. Just color in little areas like this. And just in no time, you're going to have a really pretty ornament. Okay, I'll stop right there. Otherwise, I could just keep going. All right, so we're going to take one of these again. And the great thing about using the Dazzles is there's no heating, there's no embossing, there's no stamping. So if that's just not your thing, grab some Dazzle stickers and some of the acetate, some of these baubles to go. All right, so now you could just leave it like that, or once again, you could just add in your feathers. Go. You could also use white crinkle paper that you put in gift packages and things, but you can see just adding even one of the white feathers gives it a nice background. So you guys, we've got a great money saver. Oh, you know what? I forgot to mention. Some of these feathers, Debbie colored, which I thought was so clever. She just ended up using the StazOn ink pads to color the feathers and let them dry for a few minutes and then stuff those in too. I thought that was so clever. I had to mention it. All right, so once again, we're back to the money saver. We've got a great money saver on the supplies that you need to make these adorable little Christmas baubles, Christmas ornaments. So I would definitely encourage you to check that out. If you're watching us on our Webisodes page, then the money saver is just to the right of that. Just click on that and it'll take you where you need to be. And if you're looking for the supply lists on this, look in the photo gallery below the video. Just click on that. Click on each photo of the ornaments, and that will take you to the supply list. If you're watching us on YouTube, just look in the description box below the video, and that'll take you to the Money Saver with that link, and also link to paperwishes.com. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.